Hello and welcome to Roy's RCTV. Well, here we are. It's the middle of November. It's cold, it's dank, and the days are short. So I'm using this opportunity to edit up some video from this summer's trip to the Kermit Fantasy of Flight collection in Polk City, Florida. Now, if you're ever in the Tampa Orlando area of Florida, I'd highly recommend a trip to this collection. And if you're going to go early so you don't miss any of the tours, the wood shop, the restoration, and the guided tram tour. Then take lunch in their 1930s style diner, and if you're lucky in the afternoon you'll have your own private flying display from one of the aircraft in the collection. Now on this occasion when I was there, they used the Fieseler Storch, so sit back and enjoy.
Up and down, the elevators will come up and down. He'll test all the systems in that airplane. This is an airplane that was designed to be worked on in the field during the Second World War. Again, designed in the mid-1930s. This aircraft contains only those flight controls which are essential for flight. It has no hydraulics in it whatsoever. But for its day, it was truly a remarkable airplane. And it's remarkable for several reasons. Number one, as I stated earlier, it goes back to a time in history before helicopters. This is the kind of an airplane you would use if you had to get in and out of a very small area. This is a STOL aircraft. Storch is the German word for stork, because they thought it looked like a great big flying bird when you see the length. The landing gear, when this airplane takes off, will extend another 1.5 feet. That's a spring-loaded landing gear, and it's built that way for that purpose, so the airplane can come down from very high vertical heights right to the ground and stop at a very short distance. Now David's going to complete his engine run up there, then he's going to take and he's going to spin that airplane around, hopefully do a 360-degree clearing turn, just make sure there's nothing in his way. And once he begins his takeoff roll, we're going to have some fun. 1003, 1004, 1005, 5 seconds, the airplane is airborne, just that quick. 5 seconds of takeoff roll is all it takes, a little over 100 feet, to put that airplane into the air. Now that harkens back to the mid-1930s, something that was truly remarkable in its day. And here's an aircraft that's so designed that it doesn't actually take off, elevate, it actually levitates its way up into the air. Now David's going to also demonstrate today for us with that airplane, and the wind direction is not the greatest for that demonstration, but we'll do the best we can. He's going to demonstrate that here's an airplane in the right amount of headwind that can hover just like a helicopter, and if there's enough of a headwind, this aircraft can actually fly in reverse. Now that's not something those of you that are pilots necessarily would want to do, but this airplane has been known to do it, and it can actually do it. David's going to demonstrate some of the capabilities, the flight capabilities of this aircraft. All of the turns that he's making right now are combat type of maneuvers that would be used during wartime. This airplane was used by the German Luftwaffe in World War II for many things. They used it for spotting. They used it for some beautiful shot of that airplane. This is a tubular steel fabric-covered airplane from World War II. One of the last of the large observation planes, light observation planes. And by the way, he can fly that aircraft. Now just think about it, just sitting up there doing that, making lazy circles for hours. They could overlook an enemy battlefield, they could spot for field artillery being fired out there. The man sitting in the back seat could sit with his back. The next thing he'll do is crank down the flaps. And when he brings the flaps down beyond a certain level, what happens is the ailerons will actually start to droop as well. So now you have a full span trailing edge flap. There you go. Sometimes he'll do a touch and go for us. We're never sure. We're just kind of watching. This is, as I said, a tubular steel airplane. It's a purpose-built aircraft at that point in history. Slowly we can set this down. Now, believe me, if we had a whole bunch of these, we would just put that on the ground and jump on the brakes, and he can stop it almost dead right where he is. He's going to just do a low pass over the ground. There you go. He'll bring it back. I don't think I've ever seen him do a low one like that. Nice and slow, just off the ground. To show you what, it can't fly that slow. Well, yes, it can, and if you're lucky enough, watch Dave set this down nice and gently. See the landing gear collapse at 2 foot, and he'll have it ready to turn as soon as he hits the cross runway, just that quick. And that's what the aircraft was designed to do. Take off and land, improvised landing strip anywhere at a very, very short distance. Now he's going to turn it, where's he going to go up? No, he's going to turn it around, he's going to bring it back to us. But if you're lucky enough to sit in that big jet, to sit somewhere near the front of the wing where you can look out and see the wing on that airplane, as you see him slow down on that final approach to the, on the downwind leg of his final approach to the airport, you'll see the very front of that wing start to droop, just like this. Same thing that they're doing, they're changing the shape of that wing, and that will keep the air flowing over that wing nice and smooth so it doesn't become turbulent at low speeds. And when that pilot finally brings that airplane over the runway and sets it down, literally at one point he has to stall the airplane to get it to drop onto that runway after he flares out. All right, here comes Mr. Dudley for us. Now when he gets back here, we'll wait till he gets the airplane taxied up, wait till he gets the door open and gets his headphones off, then we'll give him a great big hand for coming in on his day off today and demonstrating this aircraft for us here at Fantasy. When you come up and look at the airplane, please do me.
So, what type of aircraft was that? And what kind of construction were they using? I hope you were taking notes. I think you get the general idea of just how knowledgeable and enthusiastic the staff at the Fantasy of Flight are about vintage aircraft. And if you're enthusiastic about Roy's RCTV, then don't forget to subscribe, and the next time I post a video, you'll be the first to know. Goodbye.